It's been 4 long years now since Harry and Meghan made that shocking announcement that they plan to step back from their roles as working royals. I still remember the media frenzy when the news broke. It was truly a bombshell moment that no one saw coming. Harry and Meghan had stars in their eyes when they first arrived in the US, utterly convinced they'd make it big in Hollywood. Meghan was positive she'd finally become the A-list actress she'd always dreamed of being. And I guess Harry was just thrilled he'd moved somewhere weed was legal, so he could spend his days getting baked and killing time with video games. But now, in 2024, things are looking far from rosy for the royal couple. Their grand transition from palace life to Tinseltown has been anything but smooth sailing. In fact, it's clear their Hollywood dreams have crashed and burned, and they're staring down a pretty miserable existence in LA. Initially, it seemed like Harry and Meghan might do all right for themselves. After all, they scored those massive deals with Netflix and Spotify way back in 2020, so we assumed they must have some killer ideas for content. Surely they'd churn out some amazing shows and podcasts, right? That's what they promised at least. They also claimed they wanted to do charity work and help people, insisting that service was universal even if they weren't working royals anymore. For the first couple years, most folks tried to give Harry and Meghan the benefit of the doubt. With the pandemic and all, it made sense stuff was moving slower than expected with their big Hollywood plans. But by 2023, the tides really started to turn. It became painfully clear that Harry and Meghan were trying their hardest. It's just that they had nothing of value to offer. So 2023 was the year public sentiment truly soured on the couple. People stopped giving them the benefit of the doubt, and instead, they became a laughingstock and punchline. First, it was South Park skewering them as the Prince and Princess of Canada. Then Family Guy took a crack portraying Harry lounging by the pool while a butler brings him millions from Netflix for doing jack squat. And now the hits keep coming at the 2024 Golden Globes, with host Joe Coy roasting Harry and Meghan as talentless freeloaders. It's not hard to see what changed. Spare was a big turning point. That ridiculous book, with Harry whining about getting less sausages than William at breakfast, and getting the smaller bedroom in a literal castle on vacation. Of course, people found that tone-deaf and hilarious. This is an age of real cost-of-living crisis for regular folks worried about affording food and electricity. Now's no time for the rich and entitled to moan over nonsense. But that's exactly what Spare delivered, and their Netflix docuseries wasn't much better. Harry and Meghan seem totally oblivious to how the public sees them, not as the victims and angels they imagine, but as a pair of greedy grifters who think they deserve fame and fortune handed to them for no reason. I still don't know what Harry was thinking with Spare. Did he really believe people wanted to hear about his frostbitten *******, and using his dead mom's hand cream on it? Or including weird details about William's anatomy? Who told him that was a good idea? And the totally delusional part about Meghan serenading seals and then singing back to her. Pure nonsense, even if she wrote it. Before the Netflix show premiered, Harry and Meghan kept talking about wanting to tell their side of the story. Okay, fair enough, but they didn't just tell their story. They fabricated blatant lies, deliberately misleading people into thinking things happened that didn't. Like using footage from Harry Potter premieres to pretend they were hounded by the British press. Complete fiction, and then they expected Emmys and Grammy nominations. What planet do they live on? I don't know how Harry and Meghan can be so blind to the hypocrisy and deceit, when it's obvious to the rest of us. 2023 was all downhill, culminating with them getting dumped by Spotify in June after an exec called them effing grifters. But they just couldn't take a hint and kept desperately chasing headlines. And now 2024 is off to a similar start, with Meghan's awkward Golden Globes appearance and multiple jabs from host Joe Coy about their laziness and thirst for handouts. Clearly, the tides have turned against the Sussexes in a major way. Their grand Hollywood dreams have crashed and burned, and it looks like a pretty miserable future awaits in LA. The days of referring to them as Harry and Meghan seem to be over. Now the media talks about them separately as Harry and Meghan, no longer a united front. And the narrative seems to be shifting to paint Meghan as the villain and Harry as the lost little boy. Accurate or not, that's the emerging storyline. Personally, I do see Meghan as the evil demon who took advantage of a dim-witted prince. So what happens when they inevitably split? Harry will slink back to his family with his tail between his legs. But Meghan's future is the real mystery. She probably thinks she'll find another rich husband, but that's delusional. She's too old now, too notorious. It's not like she can forge a career either, already being known as lazy and difficult. Meghan will never even ask herself if it was all worth it. She'll just focus on squeezing every penny from the divorce settlement before finding her next mark to con. It's been astonishing to see the public turn on them so sharply, all culminating in the mockery at the Golden Globes. Joke after joke hammered them for being useless grifters who sit around doing nothing while expecting millions. And the biggest laugh was comparing them to Queen Camilla doing an actual job. Because at this point, Harry and Meghan are infamous for their utter lack of effort while demanding handouts. It's this entitled attitude that turns people off so much. Like they deserve fame and riches simply for existing without lifting a finger. The crazy part is Meghan will never reflect and wonder if she made the right choices. She'll just keep seeking ways to exploit people before moving on to the next target. So what do you think about the steep decline of Harry and Meghan? Please share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more royal updates. Wishing you all a wonderful 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.